Hey there, Kimberly Sherry, International Energy Healer, here helping you lead a life of wealth without worry. Coming to you from Australia. So I've moved from Bali and now I'm in the land down under. And I wanted to give you three important things that I've discovered about traveling that I've discovered are myths. And so, hey Bobby, the first thing I wanted to share with you was about jet lag. A lot of people talk about that. And, you know, here's what jet lag is all about from an energetic perspective. Hey, Adriana. Jet lag, all that means is that, one, you probably haven't had enough rest. So if you've been on a long flight, it's hard to get rest. The second thing is that you probably keep looking at your clock and seeing what time it is where you just came from. And so then you're not in present time and you keep jumping back into the past. And so, wow, lots of love. So the thing that you can do to avoid what they call jet lag is to make sure you get as much rest as possible on the plane before, but not when you arrive to your destination. When you arrive to your destination, immediately get on their clock. And don't go to bed, don't take a nap until it's time in their evening. And don't pay attention to what time it is at home unless you need to call somebody or contact somebody. Then you can, use a time converter and see what time it is there. But otherwise, you're going to be trying to navigate both worlds. And that's what jet lag is about. It's just confusion. You're confusing your brain. And all you need to do is get in present time. I never suffer from jet lag. Sometimes I'm tired, but it's only from not getting enough sleep. So just make sure that when you travel, that's one way of avoiding jet lag. The second thing I wanted to talk about was a myth about travel. Everybody thinks this, that they can't afford to travel. So that is just a mindset. If you believe that you can't afford to travel, then that's exactly what you're going to discover. You're going to discover when you go to look for a plane ticket or hotels or whatever, everything is just going to look so expensive. However, if you go with the mindset that you want to travel, you want it to be affordable, that you're going to start stretching into having a more expanded view. And so one of the ways you can expand your mindset is by stretching your dollars. So that's not being a tightwad. That's not being having a lack mindset. That's being wise. So one of the ways you can stretch your dollar, a couple ways. One is look for airfares that are off season. If you maybe it's an advantage that you can fill in if you have if you're at work and you have a regular job, that you can fill in when other people want to take their holiday time, and that you can go on the off season when everything is a lot less expensive. So right now in Bali, where I just left from, it's you can get really great rates, and it's very inexpensive to even travel there. So it's a lot easier to negotiate really good prices, and it's just beginning to be in the rainy season. So that's another good thing, is if you kind of navigate off season, but just at the beginning, then you're not full on into the rainy season or the winter, but you're kind of at the edge there. So that's a really good way to stretch your dollar. And to go to places like in Indonesia where your dollars can really go far and you can really stretch your money that way. You can also, instead of going to really high price hotels, look on Airbnb, and there's often great places there. I've just been recently introduced to something that I'm going to try, because I used to house sit at home, and next door to where I was staying last in Bali, there was a couple there. They're retired healers, and they house sit their way around the world. And so they turned me onto this really great website called trustedhousesitters.com. And so I've applied there, and you can stay in beautiful, amazing homes for free. And all you have to do is take care of their pets and plants and house, and it's a great way to stretch your dollars. So anyway, there's lots of great ways you can stretch your money. The third thing that I want to address about traveling is that a lot of people think that traveling is just to go and relax. That is one reason you can go and travel. But I think the much bigger benefit of traveling that people miss because they're not using their awareness and their consciousness is it's a great opportunity to grow and expand. If you've ever gotten sick while you're traveling, most people think, oh, I just got a bug or, whatever. The deeper thing that you may be missing is that you've bumped up against some energy in this place that you've gone to travel to. Maybe it's some old past life energy. Maybe there's something that's getting triggered. But either way, to me, when that happens to me and I'm traveling, that it's an opportunity for me to look inside and find out what's going on in me that's causing this sickness or this thing to be happening, or even people that are triggering you. When I was in Bali last, I got this really bad rash on my arm, and actually on both arms. And so I was curious, what that was about. Hey, Beth. And so in the next 2 days following that, because this is how spirit works with me, is I was introduced to two great healers. Two great healers came along my path. One happened to live, was staying next door. And another gentleman, I just happened to meet at a cafe where I had done my live Facebook thing, and he was listening to it. And so he really dialed into what I was talking about. And so we struck up this great conversation. He had just closed a crystal shop in Ireland, and it was his second vacation in his entire life. And he was older than I was. And so anyway, he did this great healing on me. And so that night, it was just like this outpouring of tears and grief and not realizing I was still holding deeper layers of some shame that I wasn't even aware of. So when you get sick on vacation, or with something that happens to you and you get triggered on vacation, it's usually a signal that something deeper in you wants to heal. And so if you're not taking advantage of these things when you're traveling, you're kind of missing some of the deeper stuff and the advantages of being able to travel. Because travel really expands you. And you can become more expanded when you travel if you make sure that you meet local people and find out about their culture. And what you'll discover is that we are more alike than we are different. I don't know if you've ever had your DNA tested with that. I did a testing where they, figure out where your origins were, where you came from. And it was the first time I realized, hey, Tom. Oh, it's Kelly. Thanks. It was the first time that I knew or had discovered that 99.99% of us, all of humanity, is identical. It's only that 1/10 of 100% that makes us different on the outside, different colors, different sizes, different shapes, different, and then different cultures and so forth. But we're all basically the same, and this is what you'll soon discover in traveling, is that we're more alike than we are different. So I encourage you to travel, look and see that it's not as unaffordable as you think it is. You just might be looking in some of the wrong places, and you might have that lack mindset. So let's see, Charmian wants to know how long I was traveling. And how long have I been away? So this big journey of mine started about a year ago. I sold everything in February and went to Peru for 3 months. And that was a very deep dive. I like staying in a place for a while as you get the flavor of the place. And so that's why I'm looking forward to being here in Australia. Things are coming up for me and very dense energy. So I'm looking at finding some more places in me that want some more healing. So I was traveling for 3 months in Peru, went home for a couple months, and then to Bali for 2.5 months, partway in there. I went to Singapore. So now I'm here in Australia, might be going to New Zealand, don't know. Anyway, you know, I play it by ear. I see where Spirit wants me to go and what's up. But there are some things up for healing for me here, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what that's all about. Anyway, I did want to come on and not miss today. Yesterday was processing some energies, and so I know it's Friday for you, and I did come on at 11:11 for me, but it's Saturday, so I'm a whole day ahead of you guys. But I did not want to miss a week. I've been doing this for over a year, and I have not missed 1 week, and I don't plan on missing a week. You'll just see me here every week at some point or another. So I have been to Costa Rica, Charmian, and I like Bali much better, I will say. Anyway, it's so great to see all of you showing up here, and I love that you like to hear what I have to say every week and for supporting me. And I look forward to inspiring you every week, inspiring you to travel, inspiring you to have a better life. And tomorrow, well, let's see, today's Friday. So on Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific time for you guys, I'll be doing my monthly global Q&A. So if you have a question that you want to ask me, I'll post a link on how you can get on. If you've never done it, it's free. If you've done it in the past, you know it's only $49, which includes the meditation in 2 more weeks. So it's a month of connecting with me for only $49. So you might just look into it. It's free the first time, and I'll post that link. So the name of the house sitting site again is trustedhousesitters.com. So they do have a way of making sure that you're who you say you are, and you can give letters of recommendation and so forth and so on. But check it out. So it could be a great thing for you to be able to travel inexpensively. All right, thanks for coming on, everybody, and look forward to seeing you next week or connecting with you on Sunday when I do my global Q&A. All right, sending much love. Namaste.